strawberry fluffies from 76. Like my hookup, some baking trends just come and go. It is what it is. And one of those trends was to bake something with as little effort as possible. First, we'll need a box of strawberry cake mix. I don't like boxes. People get buried in them. It's pink. Then we just shove in a tub of Cool Whip. As you can see, this recipe is quite approachable, unlike landmines. Stir it up like some good drama. We might say we like our friends, but we can't stand them. Smelling a little fruity. I'm partial to fruitiness. I am. Okay. Finally, we scoop, then into powdered sugar. And place. 350 for about 12 minutes. See this book? I wrote it myself. You know, these don't look very fluffy. Ooh. But they taste fluffy. Insanely soft. Ooh. Loses points for laziness, but soft, fruity, and good. A chocolate syrup cake from 87. Now there's many uses for chocolate syrup in the kitchen and a few in the bedroom. But does it make a good cake? We begin with a half cup of butter, creamed with a cup of sugar. 4 egg vanilla mix. And now for 1.5 cups of chocolate syrup. Seems excessive. It's a lot of syrup. Leave it to the Americans. If it looks like oil, it must be good. Dry ingredients are 1.1 cups of flour and a half teaspoon of floof powder. Good. Ooh, it's actually quite a nice batter. We'll need a greased 9-inch. You heard me. It smells good. I mean, no, it's wrong. We bake at 325 for around an hour. Check yours with a toothpick. You know, our book's out this month. Go look at it. Whoa! Grease your pan well. Mine almost stuck. The icing is just a cup of powdered sugar, adding syrup until thick. What kind of Yankee Doodle dandy shit? Why do you look good? Senseless. I'm going to hemorrhage. I'll tell you what. That is a solid easy cake. Darn good idea. Cheers. Peanut brittle from 1909. Now, I ain't never did a peanut brittle, but I done been heard of it before. 3 cups of Spanish peanuts. What are Spanish peanuts? Well, like other Europeans, these still have the skins on. Now into a saucepan goes 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of the newly invented corn syrup, it's witchcraft, and a half cup of water. Mixy. Now we cook this to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Fire! Bubble, bubble! Once we reach that temperature, the firm ball stage, we add in the nuts. I don't know what a firm ball is, but they should probably see a doctor. Oh! Keep stirring until we reach 300 degrees, at which point we remove from heat and add in a bit of butter and a pinch of baking soda. Who needs measurements? Off! Butter! How quickly we need a pinch? How much is the pinch? I don't know! Whoa! Creamy! And quickly onto a prepared baking sheet! That was very stressful. Now we just let this cool as you read my cookbook. Please! Last instruction is a simple one, but it's a little bit barbaric. It would seem you don't have to quite apply that much force. There's peanut brittle in the dining room. Never thought I'd be busting nuts on camera, but here we are. Oh, You know, this is pretty good, but you gotta have some strong jumpers. Oh. 'Tis distinctly old-fashioned, take that how you will. Though if you're allergic to peanuts, that's one hell of a way to go out. Rolo Ritz sandwiches from 79. I'll tell you, I wasn't gonna do this one because it seems rather pedestrian, unlike cars. First up, we'll be needing some crackers. We've got some in a box here and one in a t-shirt. Use as many as you'd like. Come on. This feels familiar. Lay half face down on a baking sheet. Get some Rolos. Throw them on the floor. Please remove the wrappers. Aluminium has no nutritional value. And you just place them on top. Then we bake at 350 just until they're soft, around 3 minutes. But keep an eye on them. Yours may get softer sooner depending on your level of arousal. Did you know my book comes out soon? Of course you did. I never shut up about it. Woo! Toasty. Then we carefully sandwich. This has no right being this satisfying. Yeah! Yes. They're perfect. Not because they're gourmet or anything special. They're just a really good idea. A really good tasting idea. Secret cornbread from 87. Now I want you to try and guess what the third ingredient in this bread is because I can guarantee you're not gonna get it. It's an easy 3-2-1 recipe, so we're gonna start with 3 eggy beet, followed by 2 boxes of Jiffy cornbread mix. Let me in. Finally, 1 entire 15-ounce jar of Cheese Whiz. Oh, no. Heat it up first because it currently resembles silicone. I'm really looking forward to this. Oh no! Cheesy, alright. Cheese Whiz. And into a well-greased 9x13. It's extraterrestrial. Be sure to smooth it out. Thank you, I'd hate to have an uneven disaster. That would be terrible. Bake at 375 until golden brown. 20 to 25 minutes. My cookbook, Baking Yesteryear, is officially out today. Yes, the time has come. You know, I'm scared because this smells good. Ooh! Seriously, this is killer. If you don't believe me, try it. This is dangerous. Poor man's ice cream from 49. Like our fleeting youth, summer's almost over, but there's still enough time to enjoy some ice cream. We start with a can of evaporated milk chilled in the fridge overnight with an equally cold bowl. My fingers are stuck. Next, a cup and a half of powdered sugar and a bit of vanilla. Only 3 ingredients. Now to whip. Sure, we all know you can whip cream, and depending on your tolerance for bedroom adventures, your significant other, but I didn't think you could whip evaporated milk. Let's see. You can! Once it's thick and foamy, we throw it in the freezer for at least an hour. I got a haircut. Woo! Now we whip again. Oh, wow. Look at it. Now we can have it as is or return it to the freezer until it sets. Did you know that you made baking yesteryear a #1 New York Times bestseller? You're crazy. Thank you. That's long enough. I want ice cream. Woo! This is incredible. It's so smooth. This is no substitution. This is a masterpiece. Thank you, dead lady. Spoon bread from 1911. Haven't a clue what this is. It could be spoons made of bread or bread made of spoons. Into a saucepan goes 2 cups of water, plus 1.25 cups of cornmeal. Cornmeal bothers me. On one hand, it's vegetable dust, and on the other hand, I have fingers. Fire! Cook until thick. What's considered thick, I don't know, but don't ask a man, because you'll get conflicting evidence. Thick! Next up, 2 tablespoons of butter. 2 cups of moo juice. It's very wet. Wet and loose. Yolks of 2 eggies. And separately, we beat the whites. Fold with 2 teaspoons of floof powder. What is this supposed to be? What do we bake this in? I have no idea. It could be a shoe for all I know. Oh, why is it so wet? But we bake at 350 for about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm baking soup. Oh, my cookbook. Oh dear. This is not working. Spoon bread. Spoon bread. To think I have a college degree. It tastes quite good. Texture, no. Is that mean to say? Do people eat this? 7-Up and milk.
Delicious.
From the 1940s. This is a real thing. So it's half milk, also known as
moo juice.
Yes! And half 7-Up. I don't like milk. Do you like milk?
I don't. I'm an oat milk girly. I'm really worried about this.
3, 2, 1. I've got it all over my face.
Yeah.
Tastes like itchy milk.
Like if you made a key lime pie meringue LaCroix.
It's a LaCroix float.
It's a 7-Up float that has been sitting out in the sun for like 4 hours, and yet it's still slightly cold.
Yeah. It is not expressly bad, but
I'm not gonna be out here like 7-Up milk.
A Texas sheet cake from 76. I don't know much about Texas. I'm told things there are large. Start with 2 cups of flour and 2 cups of sugar. Woo! Texas got its way too with the flour, which is backwards. What are you up to? Now into a saucepan goes a cup of water, a whole cup of butter, much, 1/4 cup of cocoa, and a big pinch of salt. Now we boil it. Why? I'm just gonna listen to the Texans. Fire! We just dump. It's smooth. 1/2 cup of buttermilk, vanilla, teaspoon of baking soda, 2 beaten eggies. Now into a greased 15 by 10. If you don't have one of these, it probably means you don't own one of these, unless you stole it and I won't tell. 325 for 20 to 25 minutes. Texans would love my book. Hello. For the frosting, we briefly boil 1/3 cup of moo juice, 1/4 cup of cocoa, and 1/2 cup of butter. Fire! Done! Whisk in 2.5 cups of powdered sugar. I can feel my teeth falling out of my face right now. Cup of chopped pecans. Whoa. Oh my. Texas is scrumdumptious. A Castella cake from 1980. Now this recipe came to Flushing, Queens from Taiwan. I was also disappointed to learn that Flushing, Queens is a place in New York and not a show about plumbers and drag. Start with eggs, which answers the question of who came first. Normally the guy. 7 yolks, 7 whites. These are fresh eggies from the business end of the chicken. Careful. To the yolks, we add 1/2 cup of oil, 1/2 cup of moo juice, a bit of vanilla or almond extract, and a cup of flour, or cake flour if you're pretentious. I'm joking, there is a difference, the pretentiousness. And we whisk this all together, which is very odd. Ooh, it looks like mustard. When it comes to beating egg whites, typically we like things stiff. It's no fun pushing rope. But here we only beat the soft peaks with 1/2 cup of sugar and a pinch of salt. Then we combine. Ooh. Oh boy. boy. Into a 9-inch parchment slung square. Oh, it's wet. Finally into a 300-degree oven with a preheated water bath. Come on. Roughly an hour, but check with a toothpick. Don't forget about my book. It's very good. No, I'm not biased. That's money. It is the most perfect pillow. Plain lovely. Pumpkin cracker bread from 75. Yes, it's fall again, which means it's time for baking, rewatching Twilight, ruminating about your profound lack of physical touch. We start with a whole box of graham crackers because leave it to the Americans to make bread using anything but ingredients for bread. Crush them all up. This is roughly 4 cups of crumbs and several tiers from artisan bread makers. Into this, 3 teaspoons of floof powder. Boop, mix. Now into a separate bowl goes 2 chicken eggs. Thank heavens you specified. I was at risk of using my locally sourced ostrich eggs. Facetious little shaky. Now for a 15-ounce can of pumpkin. If you don't have a can opener, that's quite fine. You could always resort to barbarism and begin communicating using only vowels. Can't hide from me. Beat. Combine. And that's it. Basically 3 ingredients. Into a greased loaf pan. 350 for 15 minutes to an hour. Woo! Can I show you something? It's my cookbook. Oh, sorry, I tricked you. Finally, cover with a canned frosting. Wow, splendid. There's no butter or oil, yet it's surprisingly moist. Gorgeous! A 7-Up salad from 1970. We start with 2 big packs of lemon jello, because 1 would be too easy and 3's a felony. Cup of boiling water, mixed cup of cold water. Once you get to this color, you are severely dehydrated. Next is 2 small bottles of 7-Up. 2 sliced bananas. These aren't quite ripe yet, but some things are easier when they're firm to grasp and such. Small can of crushed pineapple. Drain the juice. Cup of mini marshmallows. Lemon lime fever dream. Pour this into something, preferably the garbage. Oh, what? It's just chunky. What is why? To the fridge. Good morning. It isn't. Now the top becomes the bottom. That's called being versatile. What is that? Sugar, pineapple juice, flour, eggy cooked. What? Mixed with whipped cream. Cheese. I'm not joking. Cheese. The one below it has olives. What would possess? Protect yourself with my book. This person has been to a dark place. It lingers. Seen bad things.